dialect, because if you go to other countries in certain parts of the world, they don't project negativity. They just project a type of world.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So I love the idea that you voted for the first damn time, man. So you went down and you decided not to wait till election day to vote, right? So it's a reminder, people can vote today, right? They literally can just
Right.
take off right now and vote. You don't have to wait till election day. Election day is the last day to vote, but we've had early voting. But did you fill out your ballot before the mail-in ballot and then walk down and hand it off, or how was your experience?
I filled it out. I actually I took the online to get registered. And then once I got there, I had to fill out all of the paperwork at the desk with the lady. And then they walked me through it. And then they sent me on my way to the, to the thing to make my decision to, to pick and choose who I wanted to or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great learning experience. And it was fun to watch the ladies of the city of Inglewood, the older ladies, like really assist me and help me and be there for me and make sure that I, knew what I was doing.
I love that. How long did it take you? Was this a 10-minute process, 5 minutes? You got in, got out? How long was it?
It took me about 40 minutes because I was taking pictures with everybody, and you know me. I'm like the politician. I gotta shake the hands, kiss the babies. I gotta take care of everybody. I can't take a picture with one volunteer without taking a picture with all of them. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do my due diligence.
So what would you tell people, man, that just are like, man, it ain't for me. I appreciate Snoop's doing this, but it don't matter. One person, these votes they're not counted, and even if they count, no one's paid. What would you say to those folks that are still cynical, that are sitting on the sidelines and just not interested right now?
Man, you got to move something. You got to get up and go do it. Your action means a lot. It matters. You got to get up and go do it. Like, I feel like me just doing it for the first time has a big impact on me and the rest of my life. So it's an experience that's worthy of at least trying to go get information on, at least see if you can, or just see what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? So I suggest everybody at home that has not went out and voted yet, that don't feel the urge to, just do it for me. Get out there and see what it feels like, no matter who you vote for, but just go see what it feels like, because it's a great experience.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. It's great experience. I swear, man, I voted a couple of days ago as well. And there is something about when you're done, there's like I don't know how to describe, but I don't want to say it's an emotional thing, but there's a point of pride. You just feel, I mean, there's like you got a little something else. I love that you describe that it is an accomplishment. It's meaningful. And if you want to actually feel something a little bit different, you're feeling a rut, you're not feeling so good about everything, a little anxious, a little cynical. Man, that simple act is a pretty profound one.
Yeah, it feels good because
Yeah,
a couple of those names on the ballot, I really knew them. I had personal relationships with some people on there. So when their names popped up, I was anxious to push the button on their side. You know what I mean? To give them my vote, because I've seen their work and I've physically done community active work with them for years. So that made me feel good that their name was still on the ballot for doing that type of work. And when I was working with them, I didn't even know what they was doing. I just know that they was community active. But to find out that this is what their title is and this is what they were up against, it just made me feel like, okay, I have an impact on making sure that this person stays in office.
I love that. By the way, when did you start connecting the dot that your voice could be used for social change, for good? I mean, when you were younger, you realized, man, with all this celebrity and fame, that I can turn this on by sort of creating a little energy and movement? Or is that something recent for you?
I think it was always in me, based off of how I was brought up and how I was raised. But then it was a certain point in time on Death Row Records that Tupac, Suge Knight, the Brotherhood Crusade, and they were just all about community active work and doing things and being politically correct and just getting involved. And it made me get involved, because I didn't want to be the one in the crew that didn't know no better and didn't stand up for a cause and didn't want to find out what they was fighting for. So it helped me to get very politically inclined at a early age in the rap world. But I didn't really do any more research because, like I said, my criminal record prevented me, or it had me thinking that it would prevent me from, taking further steps. But as I became more involved in my community and seeing that, what I was doing was more impactful, it helped me get to a point to where I figured, you know, maybe let's do some research and see if I can vote. Now that I can vote, I can really make a difference and not just tell you to go vote, but actually go do something that I'm telling you, something that I'm telling you to do.
I love that, man. And by the way, just Snoop, this is important for folks that may not be aware of this. They might have a platform in the state, and it sounds promotional, but I could be life changing. Courts.ca.gov, courts.ca.gov, and you can go in and see if you can get those same records expunged, or any issues you've had in the past, and allow you to make sure that you're available to vote next election. And by the way, if you haven't registered, we do same day registration in California. So you can literally show up tomorrow without having ever registered, ask for a provisional ballot, and be able to fill that out, man, and vote. And cannot impress upon people more the imperative of doing that. And I appreciate you just making the point. It's not just top down, it's bottom up. It's all these things that people don't realize. They just think it's about Biden, Harris, and Trump, Pence. It's not just about that. Everything else on that damn ballot.
Right. Everything's important, even from the school officials and the local things, and you know, the supervisors and the councilmen, all of that. It matters because it's the community that's first and foremost, and then we get to the bigger picture later. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of your own house before you can go outside and play.
No, I love that. Well, man, thanks for joining me, and thanks for encouraging everybody else. And more importantly, man, keep doing what you're doing. And I wish we could have brought everybody into that conversation you and I had a couple months ago about racial justice. And just keep at that, man. Your perspective, your history, your sense of not only where we are today, but where we've been and where we're going is so important. So I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Gov. You know you my main man, baby. I speak highly of you. I speak highly of you on many political platforms. I fight for you. You better know that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Snoop. Thank you for
All the
joining us,
time,
buddy.
yeah.
I will. Count on it. Take care, man.
Peace. Yes, sir.